Hello, everybody. It's CEO Jimbo. The video for you. This is take two. I have to be real careful not to bump the off button, which I just apparently did. Anyway, try to have a short video for you here today. I'm sitting here at my desk, my makeshift desk. It's sort of a nightstand with things on top of it. I have pens here. I have my paint set here. Kind of grab and go thing here, sunscreen if I'm going fishing or something like that. This is one of those glue sticks. I don't know what that is, rubber band thing. So if I want to wear that instead of my watch or something like that on my wrist. Anyway, I kind of set up some things here. We're back to my Geography Gypsy scopes. It's really my only product. It's kind of maybe wishful thinking, but I've spent so much time in this, and it's funny how little I have. But maybe I have a lot. I don't know. I've got a aircraft instrument right here that I made myself. At least a sort of a prototype in paper. It'd be better if I had it in aluminum or something like that. Anyway, it's supposed to be like a game spinner, and you should spin it, and it should be all balanced and everything. But fortunately, it just isn't. As you can see, it's this side is kind of too short and light, and this is sort of too. It has too much mass on it, so it just doesn't spin very well. So you can kind of like put it behind your back and kind of spin it around a little bit and see what it comes up with. And honestly, it was 6. So spin again. That means bad in my league. So I'm just kind of doing that with my right index finger, just spinning it behind my back where I can't see. And we'll see what we have now. We have 2. So we're doing pretty good here now, anyway. The 4 and 3s are average. 3 is above average. 4 is below average. So 3 would be slightly above average. 2 would be, pretty darn good, and 1 excellent, and so on. So our state is pretty good right now. It's funny. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and I just watched one on space history a few days ago, and it had to do with a Russian space capsule where, unfortunately and tragically, the capsule returned to Earth, and the recovery team, had opened up the hatch to see how the crew were doing, and I think there were 3 on board, and they were all 3 fatal. And they had a system of just communication on radios, of what was happening and so on. And they had it kind of reversed from that, where it's like 1 was fatal, 2 was, dire medical condition, and like 6 was good. So if came back 6, people would be cheering. But somehow it doesn't make me want to change this. I'm still happy with 1 being good and 6 being spin again. Anyway, enough on that. I have dice. Dice maybe works just as good, if not better. You just roll your dice and see what you get. I got 6, so spin again. And 5, so 5 is still a state of dire urgency, emergency, but don't spin again, kind of thing. Back to videos that I've been watching. I watched a video on aviation history, and there was a very bad midair collision where both aircraft ended up, I guess, down in the Grand Canyon. They were both airliners. I think one was United and one was maybe TWA or something like that. One was Connie, and I'm not sure what the other one was. but anyway, and I don't even know where they kind of came from or where they were going. I think one came from LAX, was heading to like New York City or something like that, and midair to the Grand Canyon, and the other one took off maybe San Francisco or something like that, and came out and was going to Detroit or something like that. Anyhow, these two crashed over the canyon. One was flying IFR at a level altitude of I think 23,000 feet, um, and the other one had a VFR over the top um, clearance where you just have to stay 1,000 feet above the cloud deck, and you can just go up and down whatever altitude you want to find the best wind. So one was sort of like just fishing for the most ideal altitude, and the other one was cruising along level, and somehow just perfectly at the canyon they just unfortunately, tragically, they crashed and I guess all died. What I put forth is if both aircraft, I mean, this was way back when, maybe 1940s or 50s or something like that, but before the jet engines came along, and if they both had geographlite gypsy scopes in the cockpit, um, they, let's say there was two checkpoints. They both check their scopes here and see how they're doing. They, come up, fly a little farther and check their scopes here. They would have sort of a state in that area, like let's say they both got ones, so they're both in excellent state, and they get ones again, they're in excellent state, so they're just high as a kite, excellent. But how often does that happen? That two aircraft would have each one. Anyway, use statistics to have fun with that one. This is another this is an old cell phone that I have that I've never really, I don't think I ever had cell phone service to it. I use it for a calculator, I use it for a flashlight, I use it for alarm clock and so on. And anyway, it has a program for if I can remember where it is, for doing the same thing, coin toss. That's music. Getting rid of a song that I wrote or something. Options clear. I don't know how to get out of that. Hold on. Play back. And just clear it all. Oh, here we go. Messages. Extras. No, it was games. It's funny how game is not an extra. That's always been kind of a funny thing. So soccer roll, rapid roll. I think this is it. If I find the focus there, dice games. Select and new game, I think is what I want. Roll dice. I think I've learned to push 1. And there's 1. So if I have 1 dice here, you can see it's the dice is on 1. How it just focuses like so good. How it new game. I have to do it fast because the screen will blank. Roll dice. New game. Anyway, if I push 1 right now, it'll do 1 dice. Came up 1. Push it again. It'll come up 2. Try it again. Comes up 5. If I move over here to 2, you get 2 dice. So this would be like the one plane's dice. This would be like the other plane's dice. And you push 1 to kind of roll it. And we get snake eyes. Hey, that's like what I was saying. So let's say, so at 1 here, they take off from their destination point and get to checkpoint 1. They have snake eyes. They're both excellent condition. Let's roll again. I push 1 again. Let's give it a roll here where you can see it. It would have been 6-5. So it's like 1 would have to spin again and the other one would be 5, but I'll just roll it again. And it's like 1 is snake eyes, the other one is 2. So they were in uh, this one would be 1 and this one 2, which means excellent, and this is just not quite excellent. So they would have been, pretty happy as clams in the Grand Canyon area. Maybe they still would have crashed into each other with gypsy scopes. Um, I don't know. If they had 5 and 5, they would be in sort of a mental state of like, what's going on, what's happening here. So I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. It's not only just for the information; it's also for something to do in the cockpit, almost like one of those games when you were a kid sitting in the back seat where you kind of like, you see like a windmill and you put like the little, cover down that marks that you've seen a windmill, and maybe you're trying to play against your brother or sister or something like that, and whoever gets finds the most at the destination or something like that wins or whatever. It keeps you actively engaged in looking out the window and so forth. Anyway, that's about all I have to say on this one. I was going to somehow incorporate my model airplane in all this, but it just didn't happen. So anyway, I was going to put a commercial in the middle for this guy. And I guess that's it. To sum up, this is the Geograflight Gypsy Scope. It's innovative. Oh, there's one thing that I didn't mention. Just before I started this, I looked around to see if I had the book The Right Stuff, thinking that I did, and I can't find it, so it's kind of in storage or a closet or something like that. But there's a clause, there's a sentence in The Right Stuff that mentions something about innovation. It's like if you're a pilot, it's like avoid that at all costs. Don't do anything with innovation. It's like career ender, and so forth. And so I just I wish I would have followed that advice the moment that I read that, 30 years ago or something like that. But somehow I got compelled to get into the, innovation research aspect of aviation. And, it's changed me because, I've been watching videos on like Mentor Pilot is showing me how to do scientific stories, and this is sort of a scientific story of sorts. But his kind of are trying to make you a better pilot. I watched one about a landing gear issue with I think it was like a 777 or something like that, and the aircraft ended up landing gear up because they couldn't figure out in time how to solve it. And then I guess the investigation aftermath kind of pinpointed a particular circuit breaker that they did not find. That if they would have just pushed in a circuit breaker, they would have got their gear down. But they were sort of too focused on things, and it would have required too out of the box thinking because it was not on the checklist to just scan all of the circuit breakers everywhere. And if they would have done that, they could have just saved the gear, but no one was injured. It destroyed the airplane, but anyway, it was kind of a happy ending anyway. That's it for this episode. Hope you like it. It was much longer than I had anticipated. I always think that these are going to be like 2 or 3 minutes, and they end up to be 11 or 12 minutes. But anyway, please give a thumbs up and like and subscribe. I could use subscribers. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.